Sexual revolution was the final chapter, I think, in the devastation that feminism visited upon women. The mistaken approach, and I think probably innocently, was that men had all the power, therefore we want power as women, therefore we should be more like men. It has devastated women.
I think a lot of what feminism sought to do was very appropriate and had a place.
Yes, but the result of becoming more like men instead of championing the natural desires of most women and building up families, it has been utterly devastating to women, because men and women do not traffic in the same spirit-filling ways.
Actually, the research is on your side there as well. We know
women are not happy.
And, many, overwhelmingly in Western countries, they indicate that given a choice,
right,
they'd skew back more toward
family and relationship.
We know that again from the research. You can't get away from it. It's undeniable.
That's right. And so the free sex, more often associated with the way that men would behave, has been nothing but ruinous to what women need and what women are more drawn to be fulfilled as human beings. It's surely given men lots of recreational enjoyment, but it's really cost us women one another. If one woman is not going to give it up, well, there's another one coming right down the street. Our value has plummeted because of the sexual revolution, and I think it's left many women feeling very hollow and empty, and it has allowed men to step away from their responsibility to women. Mm-hmm.
Actually, in a way, the research tells us something else. It's created a playground for some men and an enormous amount of emptiness for others who are not, according to the fads of the day, desirable.
Right.
And the dropout rate amongst young men is something else that the data, it should be really worrying us. No one's talking about it.
Yeah. Well, and you can look at the different waves of feminism. The first wave, I think, wanted equality, but did not say that equality meant sameness, right? But it was the second wave that emerged during the sexual revolution that said, you're not really equal unless you're the same, unless you want the same thing that men want in terms of their career and their family and their sexual appetites. And so that is where feminism began to pit women against their own bodies, right? It was a rejection of the female self. And that bound up in the sexual revolution. And I think men and women have both been victimized by that, but your own choice. It's when you victimize children because you're rejecting reality. That's where I'm willing to stand up and say, not on my watch, right? Whatever ideas you have about your own personal liberation, it can't be at the expense of children's fundamental rights and thriving. But that's really where that I think is the greatest fallout of the sexual revolution, is that it's kids who are losing out.
Surely the abortion that needs to play a part of that revolution, because men and women are obviously saddled quite differently with the results of the sexual act. And if we need to be more like men, then we need to not be bound by the consequences of that act, therefore abort the babies.
I think that, honestly, in the United States, most conservatives, most Christians are very familiar with children's right to life, and that is their primary right. And we recognized early on that adult sexual decisions were easily infringing on that right. But it is true that you have to have access to abortion if adult sexual expressionism and adult desire is God. If that is the greatest good in society, then of course children will have to pay the price for their life. Right. And many of us have just discovered, you know what, we have to stand against that because children are dying. And what we're doing at Them Before Us is, if that was children's rights 1.0, right, kids should not die for your sexual decisions. Right. This is children's rights 2.0, right? Their thriving should not be sacrificed because of your sexual decisions. So we are all in on the children's rights 1.0, protecting children's right to life. But thank God, there are hundreds of organizations that are battling to protect that fundamental right. Right now, Them Before Us is the only nonprofit solely devoted to defending children's rights on this side of the womb, their right to their own mother and father. But both of those rights are in jeopardy when you are governed by the principles of the sexual revolution.